Hi Capricorn, thank you so much for joining me. Polina here talking to you a little bit about 2023 and what the heck are we? What are we to each other? What are we to this, to that? Generosity wins. Looking good in front of people is not significant enough now, but it does definitely work for some Capricorns. If you are tight and if you're clean and if you have everything together and if you have managed to get yourself a very sure and very strong in who you are and who you be, is going to be one of those very incredible years. I think that it could be very, very good for us all to come together and think in a group. So, Capricorn, you're going to do so much better than others if you know how to listen to other people's stories, if you know what they're looking for, if you know how the market works, if you've done your research, or if you've portrayed yourself as just a friendly guy. If you're a very friendly person or girl, you might get to do a lot in this year. It's about presentation, looking good, looking sharp, looking clean, choosing light colors, for example, baby blue over a maroon. It's as simple as that, and a rabbit ear. Light, sort of like dusty rose pink over a mauve. So we are looking towards like a clarity, and we're looking towards virginity and innocence. So if you are interested, you can basically spruce yourself up, and just like that, you'll get many friends, you'll get many calls and many numbers, because a lot of Capricorns are maybe starting to get there, and they're starting to get very, very smart and wise. But sometimes your external appearance, or your physical appearance, or your mental state could be a little bit unwise, because it is looking for something stale and something heavy. It's like, I want to live in a castle, I want to have a big medieval meal, I want to look like an elder, I want to wear navy and black, and I want to look like I've done the work, like I want to commemorate myself, I want to stick those medals onto my chest, I want to look good in front of people, I want to look professional, I want to look exquisite. Pluto is walking out of your sign. How nice is that? So Pluto is going to inch back into your sign as well, but he's going to eventually start to go through Aquarius until 2044. So you will not have that power struggle and that money mind anymore, but you will maybe gain weight, you can get slow. You can get unfit if you're somebody who's been perfecting your body, which has been maybe out of nature, or like not in your nature. If your parents or grandparents haven't been fit people, maybe you will start to slope. Also, maybe your ideology or your obsessive compulsive behavior with the internet, or your mind, or like how you look in front of people, or your psyche or religion or anything, that's going to calm down. So that's very exciting for all of us with any Capricorn risings, and also, like Pluto in the first house is also going to experience a big difference. How big you are and how great is your qualification, or how in control, or how great you are at something, is just not going to be a big deal. So this obsession with spiritual psychology, eating right, looking good, being the man or being the woman, being very explicit or nervous for other people, being very also gentle and kindly when you're not feeling that inside, is going to go. So a lot of that mind game stuff is great. It's not actually that bad. It's just not going to be in your life anymore. So quite a lot of people are just going to get married. Quite a lot of people are just going to stick the stick into the ground and say, this is my home, like this is my earth. People are going to become more pure-hearted. There's going to be a way to laugh again. And even though the world is going through quite a hard time, there is nothing quite like an innocent, loving, and carefree Capricorn. But don't just leave it at that. Yeah, so that's the thing. This is where that urgency, that obsession is done. You're no longer asked to produce something. Maybe you are no longer skinned. Maybe you have some money. Maybe you have some sorry, power or responsibility, or maybe somebody else is free to represent you. So yeah, you guys are going to get quite a lot. And then I feel also in some ways you might get very subdued, and you can just let things slide so much that you won't remember what you did. It's like, Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, sure. Grab my wallet. It's just on the table over there. Sure. Yeah, it's okay. I don't need to get paid for this job. It's okay. Like, look, I just really love you. I just don't care if you pay me or not. So, getting completely soft and fragile also is not something that we need of you. So you are likable, and it feels that you've passed the test, or you've done the game, or you've made it, or you guys are making it as a sign. And it feels that you are past all that psychology and all that business and all that data gathering and all that selfishness, maybe even, and mindishness, unless you are in the last degrees of Capricorn. People in the last degrees of Capricorn are still going to get some fragility and emotions for at least maybe even the next 4 years, 3 years. I feel that some of you guys are still going to be like burdened by things and still get those clenching jaws and, you know, feelings like, or fears that somebody's missed out, or like that you're missing out on life or something, or you didn't get what you wanted out of something or somebody. So I feel that's still continuing. But for a lot of you guys, in the first half of Capricorn, it's so done. And maybe actually even up to the 20th degree, 21st degree of Capricorn, there's so many beautiful like lives already established or establishing themselves. They're people and they're just like calm and they're just saying, look, don't worry about it. I know everything. I know what I got to do. And that calmness and softness that happens with a rabbit ear naturally anyway is going to completely self-organize, but not every single person thinks so. It's just whether you like it or not, you might be at the perils of your mother or somebody else, and they're telling you how to do it again or how to work it out. Not every single person knows what they're saying and what they're thinking this year. And it's a powerful place to be because you probably know what you're doing and thinking more than normal. So that means that you don't necessarily need other people, but it would be better to do some market research and sit everybody down and hear everybody. And if you can play with all these people without relying on them to be right, it would be nice. Now, this is like very gentle now, very careful. So it's about playing with others, letting them have a say, but not taking anything on. And then eventually basically trying to emit a very beautiful light or very beautiful say or word, or maybe you're trying to make a very, very gorgeous product or produce a very beautiful sound, but it doesn't really have to do with anybody in the end. It just looks like it does at first. So it looks like you're doing it for the band. It looks like you're doing it for the people hearing you. Maybe you're trying to listen into your customer and then you're paying attention to what the world is really saying or wanting, and you might be the best at marketing and managing and doing you at the same time as answering a global demand. But then at the end of the day, you might not really care for it. So as we go through the year, you might grow exceedingly tired eventually, inevitably, from all of that work. And inevitably, you might not actually really want to go the same way. And that light and bushy-tailed feeling that you might have now might have worn off, and you might be kind of replaced by a more crude or even cruel personality. At the end of the year, we have to be very, very kind to you, and we have to devolve some things around you, because I'm feeling that some Capricorns are growing like a big exoskeleton, or like they're growing like so many lives, or they're trying to hold so many things together. And there are sort of some people that are going to have to help you there. So maybe you need a cleaner for your house. Maybe you need somebody else to take care of your children while you are doing a lot at work, or you might need somebody else to basically take that backpack off your shoulders and carry it for you for a while. It's not that big a deal. It's just that some burdens are going to really, really grow this year. So that's the big negative. That's the big shadow to you guys. So like, for example, where before, like last year, last few years, yeah, sure, like I'll get my hands dirty. Yeah, I'll go in. Yeah, I'll do it. What do you want me to do? Capricorns were very fine with having a galaxy of things to take care of. And now it's like, I can't walk an extra step with that backpack on my back. I will not. So you have to basically follow suit. You can't take care of things because it's simply not given to you. So Pluto is coming out of your sign once again. So he's not going to be backing you up. It's not going to be Superman to the rescue, Superwoman. We're not going to see that from you for a long time. So that previous edginess and sophistication and like obsession with improvement and curiosity for things that are constant and ongoing, anger and fright, kind of sort of funneled eventually as Pluto went into the last degrees of Capricorn, into a very fine personality that can just like take care of everything and do everything quicker than anybody else can imagine, that's going to get really lost on you. So for example, metabolism can slow down, productivity can slow down, obsession with like limits, like say breaking boundaries and doing things beyond, that is inevitably, exactly, is going to just grow inwards. So like for example, if you are a very avid sportsman recently and you've only done it for maybe a couple of months, or for like, I don't know, maybe you've been into sports only recently, you might not be able to lift so much weight very fast, or you might not be able to have that stamina. So that stamina is lowering. That obsession with needing to be needed, that obsession with helping other people, or wanting other people to love you, or get well around you, that's going to fade out. So we are not going to be that innocent or kind to you anymore. Also, I have to say that people are going to grow up and grow out of needing your help or trust, and maybe they're already starting to do that. It's like before, your child was like squeezing up next to you, like telling you that they want you to, tell the stories and help them with their homework. And then suddenly it's like, no, Dad, don't touch me, or like, no, Mom, I don't want to have a hug. I don't want to love you like that. I want to have my own space. So you have people that are inching away from where you are, and maybe they're already expecting other people to hold them together. So what to do? I think that Capricorn gets away with things on charm alone sometimes, and it's going to be definitely one of those years. If you have a beautiful smile, if you worked out a certain tact with people, if you've gotten to know yourself very well, if you know the perfume that matches your outfit or the occasion, if you're really good at picking clothes, if you are very, I'm serious, if you're very good at yeah, externalizing your energy, if you're very fashionable, or if you're just like very well to do, and if your house is glowing, if you have a seemingly lovely relationship, or you have a beautiful spouse, this is going to be the be all end all for a lot of Capricorns. If you don't know what the heck is happening sometimes, especially during the second half of the year, I would just trust your appearance to guide you. So sometimes it is about those pearly whites. It is about like putting your card, on the table to pay for a meal for everybody. Sometimes it is about where you come from. It is about having an expensive watch. It is about having a very good-looking partner. So that's not to say that this is the way. I'm just telling you that sometimes there are ways that things are silent, and it's just very, very hard to see things. So your reputability sometimes counts on that softness and that tact, and almost like that model personality that other people really want to have around. So come September, it probably won't be really necessarily about what you're doing, like how much work you're pushing and how much money you're making. It's not actually about your gallops and your hops in reality. Like that's not going to be seen or even needed this year. It's not like, wow, that guy like spruced up my whole garden, or like, whoa, that guy can like count really good, or he's like really good at accounting, or I don't know, he's like Superman, or like, it's not going to be like that. Like Pluto is gone, you know, so it's not like that. So we're not like looking at you for those things. It's more about like counting on you to be kind and caring and kind of neutral. Also, if you're having a party, make the most traditional dishes. Here are some, I don't know, like French style baked potatoes, and here is a chicken or a turkey, or like here's like just a nice leafy green salad. You see, so all of those very nice, simple human values are right if you still are interested in working with people. Now, when you come to my side of town, where you don't necessarily have to do that anymore, it still helps to be kind. And maybe not feeling worthless. It's important not to feel worthless. Having safety, having a meditative practice, having a simple life, having a favorite bowl. Sometimes people have their favorite bowl for their food, eating a certain way, religion, having a religious format to your day, understanding God, sitting alone, doing things on the inside, saving money. being humble and wholesome. That's basically the whole thing. If you wanted to, you could train, and I can see you training other people and doing really amazing things, but the better things are already cooked. It's just that they're making an impression now and they didn't used to. So for example, you noticed for a personality that you had since you were freaking 3 years old, but you're now 40 and it's working for you. Or like you've been noticed for the head of hair, like say you have very beautiful red hair and people are noticing you for these very simple traits. So to me, it doesn't look like you have to make hops in reality, compete, or back yourself up, or push on. It's more just about meaningful experiences and moments. And if you're very romantic and emotional Capricorn, you'll probably get everything, you know. So if you are struggling with your partner, having a candlelight dinner, you know, looking each other in the face, you know, like hugging her or him, or like touching their hair or their hand, and that's it, you're done. So it's like those, I'm sorry, I'm giving you quite a lot of like quite a lot of like get out of jail free cards here. I mean, it's like you have a fight with somebody, and then you know you just bring them like a bouquet of flowers. You know, you give your wife a bouquet of red roses, and everything is forgiven. So that traditionality depends on which layer of society you feel safe in and you feel good in. Traditional values, you know, sharing a cup of cocoa together, you know, sharing some chocolate together, I don't know, rubbing somebody's feet, like looking at somebody's face, even if you've done the horriblest things, or even if, like, you know, Pluto being out of your sign made you do some very wacky things out of weakness or disheartenment, like having not enough heart. It is all going to get you together eventually, after all. It's just very important, you know, to get yourself true also at the same time. So maybe underneath all of this, and some of it might be still posing, some of it might still be kind of, you know, like eliminating danger by saying certain things and buttering people up. I feel that some of it is kind of like safety, you know, like, I'm going to be nice and smile at this person even though I don't want to talk to them. Some of it could be just political correctness, and then underneath you could actually start a completely different game. So to me it looks like we have to see you stand out, and inevitably by 2024, as we're going into a dragon year, we need to see a completely new version of what Capricorn is today. And it's going to be like, wow, father figure, or like, wow, like Brad Pitt, or like, wow, Madonna. You know, there is like a huge, archetypal, or like a huge architect rising up inside of you, and we have to see it for all its color and its grace. It's like, wow, like, you know, it's like you walk down the street and everybody turns their head. It is going to eventually happen, but it's not going to be exactly how you imagine. So it's not just about people reacting to your presence physically, or your philosophy, or your job, or your stature in society. It's just about anything to do with you being kind of successful. It's right now kindly and homely. So you're gathering your strength to basically be a success in the next coming years. So I feel that even up to horse year 26 is going to be very, very hard to say no to a Capricorn. So you're not going to be like, okay, going up and going down in rabbit, you're being tired in rabbit, going shooting straight up, you know, and dragon, and then going back down and snake. No, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be very tired, and sometimes also very kind of traditional and practical in rabbit. Then we're going to go super high in 24, and it's going to be like, I can't believe I get to be the star. I can't believe I get to sing in front of millions of people. Or I can't believe I get to be the most incredible person. I represent a huge brand, or, you know, make a lot of money. I can't believe. So 24 is really big. It's very grand, and part of that success is dependent on the lull. So you see, you get momentum as you're going down. It's like, you know, a Ferris wheel. You're going down and rabbit. Most people would, and then eventually, unless they're very, very tidy people and they always know how to say those words, you know, so like Cancer and some Virgos and Libras are going to be so nice and tidy. An occasional Pisces, you know, very safe energies, but you couldn't really fully pull it off in a way. So you're not like naturally, like, it's not about conservative, it's just about like malleable energies are not going to be too bad, but it feels like you will have to count on your appearance or presence, and you know, part of it is just about culture and tradition and context of you and society. That's enough. It's okay. So basically, you're going to go down into rabbit, and then eventually, I feel that you guys are going to shoot up on 24 as we're going to dragon. It's got to be like, I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it. And then most people are going to go down a notch quite a bit in snake to plan the next year ahead or the next few years. Like, what is going on? We have to go into like a lot of karma, like, and a lot of healing, but I don't think you guys will. So I think you are the rare sign, the rarest sign. So I'm expecting that you're going to still be sitting pretty, quite pretty in 2025. And then 2026, the fire horse year. Now that's going to be crazy. As once in a few decades it happens. Fire horse year is very hardcore, and it's very damaging, very demanding, and not many people are going to be very well off. So like, you might have quite a lot to do there still, and still retain business. So I feel that you are still going to be afloat while people are going through all of this and trying to understand what to do and who they are. I'm definitely feeling that you guys are going to still be very well. So if you can imagine 2023, it's not about backbenching it. It's not about sitting it out necessarily. It's just about being malleable and tidy and not saying a lot and keeping your inner business or your income to yourself, keeping safe, doing things around the house, making a good impression. And then eventually 24 is going to be that huge uprooting and revival as well. That's going to be very sane also at the same time, because you guys can handle it. This huge dip and this huge uprising between 23 and 24, you guys can handle it. But it's just very important that, you know, before the big dip, you have a rest. Like before a full day of work, you have a very good night's sleep. You know, so you have to sleep a lot, you know, like think about yourself, you know, feel the love, and then eventually that's going to really work for you. So thank you very much. I hope this has been interesting. Please check out the next little announcement now. If you'd like more insights on this year to come, please check out my Almanac for 2023. It has all the information for all the signs, and it is available in Kindle book form and physical book form as well. And also, if you like, have a look at my Patreon with all the details for every sign, for every month, and day-to-day prognosis. And yes, my website, of course, where you can read more about me, and if you like, you can get a booking as well. And yes, I do year ahead readings, which are very popular every year. And here's my retreat website. If you're curious about coming to see me in Peru, then yes, of course, please like and subscribe. Thank you.